Well, it's official. It's a wrap. No more barbecue, no more ice cream trucks, and no more pool time. Summer is officially over. Or is it? Winter weather is approaching. And before you know it, we're all gonna sit back and say, man, I can't wait for it to be warm again. Typically, this doesn't set in for me until after football season. But for all of you who are searching for a return to summer right now, we have a few suggestions. Me and Mousumi, who just so happens to be a travel agent, have a top 5 travel list that I think you should check out.
3, 2, 1.
That might be out of my budget.
Is it expensive?
How much is it?
How much is it?
What do they eat?
Do they have vegan options?
I don't know. I can't eat what they eat over there.
What is there to do there?
Man, I heard that place is boring.
I heard that place is boring.
Is it even safe over there?
Is it even safe
Is that
over
place
there?
even safe?
But is it safe for
Is it even
single women?
safe over there? You know they been killing people. What should I pack?
I don't know.
I heard the rooms are small and they don't even have AC.
I don't know where to begin to plan a trip.
Is there a language barrier? Man, I don't know.
We have Mousumi here from Monsoon Travels.
Hi.
And prior to these, we know that the winter blues are coming soon. Summer fun is over with, but
Right.
don't be sad. We have some great ideas for vacation in the upcoming winter months.
Right.
All right. We have a top 5 list.
We
for-
do. We have a top 5 list. Keely has his top 5 list. I have my top 5 list for winter destinations. Mine is pretty much based off of a lot of clients where I send them during the winter break, during the winter holidays, when it snows. I know it feels like right now the summer is never ending, but believe it or not, winter is right around the corner.
My top 5 are just 5 places I think are lit. So we'll just go
Mine are
from there.
more on like personal experience.
So there's a reason and a rhyme and reason to the madness, but
Exactly.
we'll go through our list and we'll see how kind of compares.
Right, but compare and contrast ours. Well, my number 5 is London and Paris. I think London and Paris during the wintertime is beautiful. There's snow on the ground. There's nothing like walking around cobblestone streets and seeing Christmas trees and hearing music and just walking through Europe. I think it's just a magical time to be, and the weather is very nice and mild. London does not always rain. I know it's contrary to popular belief. It does not always rain there. It's very mild weather, but during the winter, Paris, don't you want to see the Eiffel Tower on Christmas, during Christmas time?
That's dope. The 2 times I've been to Paris has been during the spring, but I love Paris and I love London.
I do too.
And it's just
I do too. Yeah.
You just hop on the Euro and
The Euro
And you're there.
Star Express. It's super easy. It's about a 2-hour train on the English Channel. You're in the tunnel. You're under the water. You don't tell yourself that you're under the water because then you're like, oh my goodness, I'm under the water. But you just go to sleep and next thing you wake
survive.
up, you'll survive. It happens constantly. Thousands of people every week are taking the Eurostar Express.
So my number 5 is Mexico. For those of us that live in the southeast region of the United States, for me, I think Mexico is a quick destination. Specifically, I love the Pacific coast of Mexico. I love Cabo. I love Puerto Vallarta. Last Christmas, I spent my Christmas in Puerto Vallarta. And it's kind of a different. Cabo just feels more the turn up, where Puerto Vallarta is just
Yeah.
kind of more adult.
It's
And-
more like a honeymoon type destination.
Yeah, and-
more relaxed.
More relaxed, and you have Punta Menta that's right up the street,
Yes, you do.
and the food, like
Oh, yes.
I had literally in Puerto Vallarta for Christmas last year. I had the best guacamole I've ever had in my life. I had the best quesadilla I've ever had in my life, and I had the best tequila I've ever had in my
Right.
life.
I'm sure you did.
And I would recommend Mexico. Short flight, not
It
too
is.
bad.
It
Get
is.
away and come back. Don't have to spend as much time in the
Delta
air.
flies nonstop, especially from Atlanta, several times a day to all major Mexico cities. And it's funny that you say the West Coast in the wintertime for Mexico, because I'm completely against that. I like the West Coast in the summertime because the water, the Pacific Ocean, is already cooler.
Cold.
It's already cold water.
Yes.
And my guests want to go into the water. Like, I love Cabo. I love Puerto Vallarta. But Cabo in the wintertime, I don't recommend it. I recommend it literally from like about April to October. The wintertime, I will not because the water's cold. And if you want to go in the water, but you really can't swim in the water in Cabo.
Last time when I went to Cabo and last time I went to PV, I didn't get in the water.
Okay.
So
Right.
it's just a destination in which if you want to go swimming, then yeah,
More so Cancun.
yeah,
But definitely not the West Coast
yeah,
of
because
Mexico.
Pacific Coast water is all
It's cold and
Cold.
it's dark and you don't know what kind of great white sharks are close to
Yeah.
you.
yeah. If I'm gonna get in the water, it's gonna probably be somewhere in the Caribbean.
Right, exactly, where you can see right through.
Okay, you're number 4.
Well, my number 4 will be India. And I say India because it is literally 120 degrees in the summertime. And their summer is like 10 months out of the year. So going during the wintertime to India is so nice and mild. I have been all throughout every month during my lifetime. I've spent every month at some point of my life in India. So I felt every temperature decrease, increase. I think January is really nice because it comes down to like 55 degrees, 60 degrees. It's a different type of climate, but their 60 degrees is very nice. Otherwise, and it doubles that in the summertime. So going there, like going to the Taj Mahal sits in Agra, which is in a desert. I'm not sure if you know that, but there's nothing out there but the complete desert. It is hot at the Taj Mahal. So to see that in the wintertime when it's colder outside is more of a dream.
I have never been to India. It's on my
Got to go.
list,
Got to get there.
but I haven't been there yet. Number 4 on my list, Aruba.
Oh, yes.
So my main reason for Aruba is the location and proximity from the southeast region of the United States. You can get there and get back. And the big thing for me is it sits just below the hurricane belt.
It sure does.
So hurricane season typically runs from June till the end of November, and a lot of activity spikes around September, October.
Right.
And
Like right now.
yeah, right now. But Aruba rarely gets touched. It sits below, and there's a lot of islands around it, like Barbados, Grenada, that kind of sits right below it. That
Right.
doesn't.
Curacao sits right next to
Curacao
Aruba.
sits right
Yep.
next to it, and it doesn't get touched as much. So, if people are kind of leery of traveling during hurricane season, that's one of the
That's
destinations where you can go back during the wintertime,
Yes.
still get some beach life, get some sun, and not have to worry
And
about.
it never gets cold there, from what I've been told. And I've been there a few times. It never gets cold.
And I know one of the popular things there's the little pink flamingos on the Flamingo Island. Have you? So it's a private island,
Right.
and I know you have to buy a ticket if you're not a guest at that particular hotel.
Okay.
Then you have to buy a ticket, and it's only maybe like $100.
Okay.
But it's a private island, because I know everyone who hears Aruba, sometimes they think about those pink flamingos.
Right.
But it's on a private island. And you have to pay $100.
I thought you were going to say something else about Aruba, because I like to go on the Cuckoo Kanuku party bus.
I have never heard of that.
It is amazing, and it is an old school bus that is painted like wild colors, and they give you, what are the things you shake?
Canastas.
They have beads inside of them. They're made out of wood, they're like coconut shells. Maracas. Maracas, right. And they give those all to you on there, and they take you to 3 different bars, and you bar hop all night. They feed you dinner, and you have a great time at the end of the night. It's a little wild, but it's called the Cuckoo Kanuku party bus.
I will have to look that up.
Well, my number 3, I would say, for the winter months is Montego Bay in Jamaica. Actually, pretty much anywhere in Jamaica, but I love Jamaica.
Okay.
And there's the biggest 3 different destinations where tourists obviously go: Montego Bay, Negril, and Ocho Rios. A lot of people are going to Kingston, but it's not. It's more of like a business hub.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like straight business there. That's the capital and everything. But Montego Bay, Ocho Rios, Negril are the places you want to go to, and they say very warm. And the services there at all the different properties, you get a lot of all-inclusive resorts there. You can do the European plan as well and just get breakfast included. Not even that sometimes. But it's just something, to me, I like about going to a property and not have to worry about cooking and how much to pay for my food. This drink costs $10. That meal costs $20. I want to eat and drink all I can.
Jamaica is like the king of the Caribbean.
It is.
And
It
that's
is.
why my number 3 is St. Lucia, because I just want to go the opposite direction of where
Right.
everybody else is going.
That's
I'm just
true.
different.
That's
So there's so many other islands in the Caribbean, and there's so many different places, and I think we kind of have to step out there and explore a little
Right.
bit. So
Right.
my number 3, St. Lucia, location, hot,
Right.
beautiful beaches. the biggest key to St. Lucia to me is that there are no private beaches.
Right.
They're all public.
Yep.
Now, I've run into a situation where I was in the Caribbean, and it was in the Grand Cayman, where along 7 Mile, the different resorts kind of take up the real estate of the beach. And usually it's not a problem. They will still let you come on.
Of course.
But no private beaches.
Right, right. It's funny that you say that about the private beaches because, like in Cabo, Cabo is split into 3 different places, right? In
Yes.
3 different parts of the actual city of Cabo San Lucas. But Cabo San Lucas is where all the major resorts are. And all those hotels where they all sit right there across from the arch, those are not swimmable beaches.
They're not.
But if you go over the marina, there is a public beach where everybody swims.
So,
Isn't that crazy that I guess we can't swim, but the public.
and I went to the public one, and I know they have Lovers Beach and Divorce
Yes,
Beach.
they
because
do.
one is choppy and
Yep,
rough,
yep.
and one is.
And all the
so-
sea lions are over there. It's beautiful. But it's funny you said that about the beaches. So my number 2 is Aruba. Because
Okay.
of many of the same reasons you said. They haven't seen a hurricane in over 60 years. Let's knock on wood that they don't ever see one. It's very hot there. The people are beautiful. I love the Palm. It's called the Palm Beach areas where all the major hotels and the resorts are. You can also go to is it Baby Beach? It's on the south east coast of the island. It's very hidden. I went there when I was a child with my family, believe it or not. But as an adult, I've only spent time on Palm Beach, and I love it because the people are great. Food is great in Aruba. A lot of the hotels are not. Majority of the hotels are not all inclusive because their food is so good there. They want you to eat their local food there. I love Aruba. It's just if you want to go somewhere hot and get away from the winter blues, it's my number 2.
My number 2, Rio.
I wonder why.
Rio is like, to me, it's kind of like if New Orleans had a beach and you injected New Orleans with steroids.
I'm sure.
If you mix New Orleans and Miami all together and put it in a big bundle and inject the steroids.
Oh,
you
some
have
nice
Rio.
water. There you go.
Yeah, the clubs basically they don't close. The alcohol laws are very
Open.
24/7 in public. You can actually consume alcohol.
Oh wow, kind of like
And-
New Orleans.
Just like
Right?
New Orleans.
There you go.
But you have beaches.
Right.
And it's south of the equator. So the
Exactly.
seasons are flipped.
They are.
So
They are.
during the winter months is when they're hot.
Right.
So I don't know what more I can do to sell Rio, but
And it's funny you say that because do you know that from Rio you can cruise to Antarctica in the wintertime? You can.
Newsflash.
That's where you cruise to Antarctica. You go from South America, the southern tips is where you go. How you cruise to Antarctica? It's pretty cool, isn't it?
that's pretty cool. I will have to
That's a
add
bucket
that.
list.
Yeah,
Yes.
Because the goal is to probably, so I'm planning Rio maybe around February, around Carnival. And I'm thinking about it. So it's kind of, do I want Rio to myself before the crowd or?
Right. Well, go in a couple days early or
That's
stay a
what I'm
couple days
thinking.
later.
That's
Do
what
that.
I'm
And maybe
thinking.
get on the Antarctica cruise. I can take care of that for you.
Okay, we'll see.
Well, my number 1 during the holiday time or the winter months, and I'm going to break it down for you, is Walt Disney World,
Of course.
Universal Orlando Resort, and definitely a Disney cruise. Now, I will say this. I do not recommend any of those theme parks the week of Christmas to New Year's.
Gotcha.
You will not, an ant can't even walk through the crowds. I recommend Disney and Universal about early December, about 2 to 3 weeks before Christmas, and then early January. Crowds are gone, but the holiday decorations, the Christmas trees, the lights are all still up. They celebrate Christmas time well into January, which I love because I know people like me will come down there and enjoy that. But I will not step foot there the week of Christmas and waste my money. Also, I will say a Disney cruise is beautiful. Like the services on those cruises, I'm not sure how many cruises you've been on or what cruise lines you've been on. Oh, 0. Okay, we have to get you on some cruises. I have been on several different cruise lines, and I will tell you right now, Disney cruise is the top notch of it all. Before we even got there into our cabin, our wait staff knew my son's name, and she greeted him. And that was amazing to me. Even at dinner every night, his name was written on his little plate in ketchup.
Disney is just over the top. They never skip a beat. Like they're on
don't.
top of everything.
They don't. And you're going to pay the money, though.
Yeah,
This
you're
is
gonna
not
pay
cheap.
You're gonna pay the
Guaranteed. Disney
money.
is definitely not a cheap destination, which is it happens. It's not how it was back in the 80s when we used to go constantly. And we still get to go, but I plan accordingly. I go off season when it's cheaper, and I will tell clients to go off season. I can tell you when those times are to go, because the same price you're going to pay for a Disney cruise during Christmas time, you're going to pay a fraction in January. Just wait 2 weeks.
Well, if anything, Disney, I feel like you're going to get your money's worth.
You're going to get your money's worth. Absolutely. And honestly, and then Universal, because I love Universal. There's a misconception that it's only for older children and definitely just adults only. Kind of and kind of not, but that's where you ride the movies. So I wouldn't take like a baby there. You're not going to see a lot of characters walking around there, but the rides are incredible.
All right. My number one is a little bit off the beaten path, a little bit different, but again, I pride myself on trying to be different and think different. The Azores. The Azores.
Fun.
In Europe, they consider it kind of the equivalent of our Hawaii.
Right.
Sits in the middle of the Atlantic.
Right.
So the biggest factor for me was that it's something but like 4 or 5 hours flight from the East Coast, maybe like Boston, New York airports, 4 or 5 hour flight. And Hawaii, the European, the comparison in the sense that how the natural vegetation and the trees and the water and everything. And
we haven't messed it up yet as humans.
We haven't messed it up yet. And there's 9 different islands to explore. And it's in the middle of the Atlantic, but they don't get a lot of hurricane traffic.
Right, of course.
So that's the added plus. And it's warm pretty much year-round.
Year-round, right.
So to me, I feel like you can't beat it. You get something different than everyone going this direction. You get to go that direction. It's just as beautiful as Hawaii. In the middle of the Atlantic, you don't really have to worry about a lot of hurricane traffic.
Just get there.
Just get there. It's fun.
And the great thing is Delta flies so many different destinations. And we're lucky because we're in Atlanta. We're in the biggest hub. We have the largest airport in the world, the busiest airport in the world, just about 15 minutes from here. And we are lucky with that because we can jump on an airplane and just go anywhere at any time.
One of the biggest benefits for me as far as using Delta is just the schedule, the flight schedule.
Yes.
Like if I need to get from here at 5 a.m. to here so I can get to work and not have to use an extra vacation day.
Delta will do it for you.
Delta gets me there.
For sure.
Thank you so much.
Of course, thank you for having me. I
again
appreciate
today.
it. Thank
And
you
want to leave your social media information?
I sure will. Once again, my name is Mousumi Hill. My business is Monsoon Travels. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Monsoon Travels _Mousumi Hill.
And special thanks to Lanero Hill for helping set this up. And thank you for staying with us today. Thanks for watching. See y'all next episode.